Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. A massive AEW star has revealed his honest opinion of Triple H and took a shot at WWE as well. The game currently serves as WWE's chief content officer. In an interview with the Daily Star, Will Ospreay shared his thoughts on Triple H and claimed that he didn't have an issue with him. Ospreay infamously took a shot at the King of Kings on AEW Dynamite after the 55-year-old seemingly criticized him for not signing with WWE. Ospreay is regarded as one of the best in-ring workers in the industry and is a former international champion in AEW. Wrestling legend Vince Russo recently suggested that there is a lot of politics going on with Triple H behind the scenes. Speaking on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw show, Russo stated that the 55-year-old could be dealing with backstage politics at the moment. He noted that the veteran was in a game of chess with some major names in the company. WWE Backlash 2025 will air live this weekend from the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri. Only time will tell if the cerebral assassin will make an appearance at the PLE this weekend. He joined Sportskeeda Wrestling in 2022. Robert spent 6 years at SE Scoops covering Raw, Dynamite, SmackDown, and Rampage as well. In the world of professional wrestling, the spotlight often shifts to rivalries that transcend the ring, feuds between brands, ideologies, and even behind-the-scenes tensions. One such rivalry has consistently bubbled to the surface: AEW versus WWE. While the two promotions have always existed in a symbiotic yet contentious relationship, AEW's meteoric rise in recent years has added new fuel to the fire, especially as it positions itself as an alternative to Vince McMahon's empire. However, it is not just the corporate giants at the top that make waves. It is the individuals involved. Recently, a major AEW star who has made headlines for their outspoken demeanor and impressive in-ring ability has come forward with some candid thoughts about Triple H, the executive vice president of WWE and one of the most influential figures in the company's history. The star, who was asked to remain anonymous for this article, revealed their true feelings about Triple H's leadership style, the state of WWE under his influence, and how AEW's approach to wrestling differs from the policies of the McMahon empire. The AEW star, who has worked with some of the biggest names in the business across multiple promotions, did not hold back when asked about Triple H's legacy in WWE, both in the ring and behind the scenes. The performer had a mixed view on Triple H's in-ring career, but was particularly scathing in their comments about his role as the orchestrator of WWE's talent roster. "I respect what Triple H did in the ring, there's no denying that," the AEW star said. "He's a decorated champion and one of the best to ever do it. But let's not sugarcoat things. His impact backstage, as far as talent development, has been a mixed bag at best. If you take a look at NXT, which he's credited for building, it's hard to ignore that so many guys who were brought up through that system either had to fight for their chance or were ultimately discarded when it didn't fit into his vision. I think there's a certain degree of ego involved when it comes to how he runs things." Triple H is often praised for his work in developing talent in NXT, but this AEW star believes that there's a darker side to it, one of favoritism and rigid thinking. According to the star, some of the brightest prospects to come out of NXT were given limited opportunities on the main roster, and many were buried under Triple H's thumb. This sentiment is one that has been echoed by several other former NXT stars, many of whom made the jump to AEW after being released from WWE or becoming frustrated with their lack of creative freedom. The AEW star didn't stop there. They went on to criticize WWE's rigid system of creative control, particularly the cookie-cutter approach to talent development and storytelling that Triple H has endorsed. WWE is all about fitting into their corporate mold, which is something that I don't think anyone truly respects. Look at some of the people they've let go over the years, or those that they've tried to force into roles that they don't belong in. It's a cycle of underappreciation, the AEW star said. "I get it, WWE has its style, and that's fine. For someone like Triple H to claim that he's all about elevating talent while continuing to push the same old formula is just hypocritical. The star specifically pointed to how WWE's focus has been more on character branding than individual talent development. The business has evolved. People don't just want to see a cookie-cutter character with a generic backstory and theme music. They want real stories. They want unpredictability. AEW is all about that, while WWE just continues to churn out the same stale formulas and expects the audience to buy into it year after year. This criticism cuts deep, especially considering how WWE has historically branded itself as the premier wrestling company in the world, touting its access to global markets and its iron grip on mainstream recognition. Yet this AEW star's remarks reveal a growing sentiment that WWE's old guard may not have the vision or creativity to keep up with a new generation of wrestlers and fans. WWE has been around for a long time, but there's a reason we see so many talents leave and come to AEW. They just want to be given a platform to actually perform, and not just be used as a tool to sell merchandise. One of the most striking aspects of AEW's rise has been its commitment to giving talent more creative freedom, a point that this AEW star emphasized as a critical difference between the two promotions. What's amazing about AEW is that the talent gets to have a voice. We're not just puppets for someone in a suit to pull the strings. Everyone has input, and that's rare in this business. If you've got an idea, you're heard, and the fans can actually see your personality shine through in your character and storylines. I can't say that's the case in WWE. Triple H and Vince run a tight ship, but it often feels more like a dictatorship than a collaborative effort. While Triple H has been known to work closely with NXT talent, some AEW stars believe that AEW's creative approach is more empowering. The company's founder, Tony Khan, has earned a reputation for listening to talent and offering them the autonomy to develop their own storylines. This is in stark contrast to WWE's more scripted environment, where every word and action is often controlled and micromanaged. It's not just about giving fans the best wrestling, it's about making them care about the characters involved, the AEW star said. In AEW, we get to take risks and tell stories that resonate. We aren't just WWE light. We're a fresh, alternative product that isn't afraid to break away from the norm and offer something unique. That's why we've had the success that we've had. Finally, the AEW star took a subtle jab at WWE's recent direction under Triple H's influence. Look, WWE has the resources. They have the ability to be the biggest company in the world. But it feels like they're stuck in this old model. When you're constantly playing catch-up to what's already been done, that's a problem. Triple H has always been obsessed with building the next big star, but instead of focusing on elevating everyone, he's always been so fixated on creating his version of wrestling. That's fine for some, but that's not the way we do things in AEW. These remarks further hint at the ideological rift between the two companies. AEW believes in a more egalitarian, collaborative approach, while WWE, under Triple H's leadership, is still leaning toward a centralized model of control. As the wrestling world continues to evolve, the contrasts between WWE and AEW will likely become even more pronounced. The feud is no longer just a battle of brands, it's a battle of philosophies. While WWE under Triple H has certainly had its share of successes, the voices from AEW like this one are a reminder that the old guard isn't always the future. Whether or not Triple H can adapt to the changing landscape remains to be seen. For now, AEW continues to forge its path, offering a place where wrestlers can have their voices heard, characters can thrive, and stories can be told without the constant fear of creative restrictions. If this AEW star's perspective is any indication, it's clear that the winds of change are blowing stronger than ever in the wrestling world.